Your job is a tornado, and it's waiting for you every day. You get out of your car, and it's waiting for you at the door. You open the door, and, sucks you in. I'm going to tell you what.
Man, you did really, really good.
You see, business will always be about people. It doesn't matter what you sell. It doesn't matter what we do. It doesn't matter what we push. The business is only as strong as the people who run it. It will always be about people. And that's why the tornado concept is so important, because most of us wait for the tornado to stop, when in reality, the tornado never stops. The only thing that we need to control is us inside the tornado. That skill set that we develop that approaches the tornado on purpose. And that is what we're going to talk about today. Oh, attitude is a skill set. Attitude is definitely a skill set. You know those situations that you walk into on purpose? Those ones that you walk in and you say, oh, I better handle this one just right? Well, that's you actually dipping into your bag of skills and taking out your attitude and slipping it on over your eyes and your mouth and your heart. So what I'm talking about is approaching your jobs on purpose. You see, the definition of a professional in my mind is somebody who knows why they say what they say when they say it. Why they do what they do when they do it. There are three things that you must address on purpose when you're dealing with the personal side of the interaction. You have to make sure that you're addressing the self-esteem. How do you show somebody that you're listening not only to the words but the person themselves? And how do you gain involvement? Do these three things on purpose because it's needed, not for you but for them. I'm talking about having impact on purpose. Now, most of us wait for the company culture to do something or for it to come on high, but in reality, we all have impact whether we know it or not. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. How many of you know that person just because they walk into the room, you go, oh, thank goodness they're here, just by walking in? Or how many of you know those folks that just because they show up, you go, oh, no. Yeah, that could be you. How many of you work with somebody who's retired, but their body shows up to work every single day? Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't want that to be you. We have to have impact on purpose. So why are we doing this? Why are we focusing on all these things, saying things on purpose, approaching our jobs on purpose, talking to our customers, internal and external, on purpose? Well, it comes down to this. Do you truly understand the power that you have in this organization? I mean, do you? Because if you did, you'd approach your job on purpose more and more. The impact that you have is so important. Let me tell you a story. I'm a frequent flyer with American Airlines. Anybody else? American Airlines? Now, the way it used to work is, when you fly American Airlines a lot, as much as I do, you can join their frequent flyer program, which I'm a proud member of. And when I first got started, I asked them, I said, how do you become a gold or platinum or executive platinum flyer? And they said, well, first give up your family. And unfortunately, that's true, because in order to become a platinum flyer, which I am, you have to fly 50,000 miles. And now, considering, coast to coast is 3,000 miles, that's a lot of miles in a year. And I love my family. I hate being away from my family. So if I have to travel, I like to zip in and zip out. Now, I'm kind of a simple guy, to be honest with you. It doesn't really take much to make me happy, but I got to tell you, I love being in first class. I really do. I'm sorry if that makes me a snob, but it's just nothing. Well, I'll tell you why. I mean, how would you describe first class? See, the way I describe first class is, this is coach, this is first class. Coach, first class. I don't think you're hearing me. Coach, first class. I'm a big guy. I know. I'm shaped like a dad. I know. I'm that large guy walking down the aisle, and you're looking at me going, please don't sit by me, please don't sit by me, please don't sit by me. I know. I see ya. See ya. So I love getting bumped up to first class. And I got to tell you, when I first got started and became a platinum flyer, they used to send us stickers. And the way it works is, as a perk for flying so much, they would give you these stickers. And the long ones were good for 1,000 miles. The short ones were good for 500 miles. So depending on how far you were flying, it took that many stickers. Now, I would fly from Dallas to Boston every other week. Week on, week off. It was very hard, but I was paying my dues. That's a good flight to get upgraded on. It's 3.5 hours. It's wonderful. It's marvelous. I absolutely loved it. And I would bring my stickers. It was always a long and a short sticker. So I always look forward to Boston because, 3.5 hours first class. I get to see comfortably. I'm excited. Well, I'm coming home. It's 5 days of coaching, training, and it's 5 days of this energy. Can you imagine? So I'm dead tired. Well, how would you describe Logan Airport? It's a sea of humanity, isn't it? One of the world's largest airports. And I'm walking up to the line, and I know I'm going to pay a long and a short sticker. Evelyn, lovely Evelyn, is behind the counter, and it's my turn, and I go walking up. And I give her my stuff, and I say, hello, Evelyn. Nothing. Just, it's okay. I come across a little strong sometimes, I understand, so I back off. And Evelyn says, Mr. Hoffman, it seems you've been upgraded to first class. And I said, yes, I have, Evelyn. And she says, that'll be 2 long stickers. And I said, no. No, Evelyn, it's a long and a short, isn't it? It's a long and a short. I've always paid a long and a short. When did it change? And she says, Mr. Hoffman, it's never changed. It's always been 2 longs. Are you going to upgrade? And I went, well, Evelyn, it's never been 2 longs. It's always been a long and a short. And I took out my platinum card because I didn't want to seem pushy. So I said, my platinum card, I'm not making it up. It's always been a long and a short. And she says, Mr. Hoffman, I don't know what you're trying to pull, but it's always been 2 longs. I'm not trying to pull anything, Evelyn. This stinks. It's always been a long and a short. Well, I'm not paying $40 for another sticker, so go ahead and put me in the back. She goes, Mr. Hoffman, we're all sold out. You'll have to come back tomorrow morning. No, Evelyn, fine. I give her my card. She runs it, and she says, Mr. Hoffman, your card's been declined. I can't even buy an upgrade sticker. Okay, well, Evelyn, here's something. If I don't have enough money for an upgrade sticker, I don't have enough money for a hotel room. Don't make me sleep in the airport, Evelyn. I'll be honest with you, the only reason I'm asking to take this seat in first class is because I've always paid a long and a short. I've never paid 2 longs. She goes, Mr. Hoffman, I can't help you. I said, well, Evelyn, I'm not sleeping in the airport. It's never been 2 longs. It's always been a long and a short. You get me a supervisor. And she does. And the supervisor does this. And the supervisor goes, Mr. Hoffman, it's 2 longs. Well, have you ever felt like this on the inside? You're getting mad. Well, I'm trying to be calm. I said, well, I appreciate the fact that it's 2 longs. I got to tell you, I've never paid 2 longs, but that's not really the point. What I'm looking for is a little help here. I'm an American flyer, platinum. Don't make me sleep in the airport, please. Please, can I get this sticker? I'll pay when I get back, anything. But I flew 50,000 miles last year. Please don't make me sleep on the bench. I can't even pay for a hotel room. And she says, I can't help you. I said, well, then you get me customer service who can, because I'm not sleeping on the... I'm getting ugly. Have you ever had that face? I feel terrible. And she gets the customer service on the phone and hands it to me. And I said, hello, and she goes, Mr. Hoffman, I say, if you say 2 longs, I'm going to bite your head off, because that's not really the issue now. I don't want to sleep in the airport. Can you hook a brother up? And she goes, well, Mr. Hoffman, it's always been 2 longs. That's not really the point. Isn't there a grace mileage? I said, how far is it from Dallas to Boston? I've never had to give up these stickers before. It's always been a long and a short. She goes, yes, we have a grace mileage of 50 miles. I said, well, how far is it from Dallas to Boston? She goes, let me look it up. 1,561 miles. And that's when I lost it in Logan Airport. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. What? 11 miles? You busted my chops for 11 miles? We taxi at DFW for 11 miles, for crying out loud. You know what she said? All right, we'll give it to you. Yeah! So I'm going, oh, okay, fine. I'll tell you what. I'm never flying. I'm cutting up my card. Oh, I'm never flying this. I'm Evelyn. Her pictures. Right. Oh, I grabbed Evelyn, shaved her head. Look, 6s. She's evil. Evil Evelyn. I was mad. I'm down in first class. They're talking to each other too. They're just going, don't look at them. Just get them on the plane. Don't look. Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. And I'm sitting in first class. I'm mad. I'm waiting for someone to say something. Go ahead. Say something. Go ahead. I've never been so ugly in public. I feel terrible. And up comes Shirley. And Shirley says, Mr. Hoffman. I'm looking at her. She says, we hear there's been an altercation. Actually, we heard it all the way down here. Looking at her. She says, Mr. Hoffman, I cannot fathom